Hello everyone, Funky Blood here, and today I am going to be listening to Hi, This Is Flume mixtape by Flume from 2019. And I decided to listen to it because he released an album a few days ago, and I thought it would be a good idea to react to his maybe most celebrated project, even more so than his breakthrough self-titled LP, at least on Rate Your Music. On Album of the Year it's a different story, but I have heard his self-titled. I would give it like something between a 6 or a 7, and I wonder if this mixtape is going to be better than his debut, because I have heard that this is apparently all over the place, and here with me is my dog. Say hi. You just lay there, whatever. She's just gonna chill there, and hopefully I will too. But first, I'm gonna talk about the cover for this mixtape, which is a trunk of a car, a colorful car, with a painting and some stickers. Yeah, this is a pretty unique cover, and I wouldn't say I saw anything like this anywhere else. I'm going to give this cover a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and I am even more ecstatic to listen to this project than I was before looking at it. Another thing I forgot to mention is that this mixtape is in the style of wonky, which is a style of EDM fused with trap music, and it's a bit experimental compared to the stuff you might hear on the radio, like Drake. It's gonna be a bit eclectic, to say the least. There are a couple of transitionary tracks that are less than a minute long, and one remix of a SOPHIE song called Is It Cold in the Water. And this project is less than 40 minutes as a whole. And let's begin with the first track, the title track, Hi, This Is Flume.
Hi, this is Flume, and you're listening to my new single, Tap the Artwork.
Hi, hi,
Hi, this is Flume.
hi there.
I'm dropping by. This is Flume.
I'm going to give this one an X out of 10. It's a good introduction. Not a full song, but works for what it is. Next track, Ecdysis. Ecdysis. About 2 minutes long. Let's go. Pretty heavy. God damn, man. God damn. The only complaint I would have with this track is that it wasn't super focused. However, it presented something so heavy I just cannot resist it. The beats here were so good that I'm going to give this one an 8. Right off the bat, I am stunned in a good way. Next track is called High Beams. It features slowthai and HWLS. I know the first guy, hopefully it will be amazing. Let's go.
From said I'm moving long, do you know where I've been? Back and forth to Team Mod 2, still I come through like Mr. Sheen. Dealing with...
It's so heavy, oh my god.
Out of touch, off my line. They got laws but I can't comply. Outlook, must be...
This was the first track to have like over 3 minutes of runtime, and it did not waste time at all. The breakbeats on this track are, oh my god, they are perfect. There's no other way to say it. I'm not sure what I would give it right away, so I'm gonna listen to it one more time. Let's go again. Right off the bat, it's pretty dry and in an amazing way. So there are reasons to love this track from the first few seconds. So that is quite epic, quite good in my opinion. Let's go.
Lift when I flip the clutch. Days when I wasted a lot. Some days I was wasted like plums. That imping I gotta meet me some. I ain't trying to stay on mums. Mom said don't play with guns. Banging I ain't playing on drums. Slanging in under no farm.
My god. He's doing something so left field, yet something that makes sense at the same time, and fireworks ensue. Yeah, let's keep going.
Must be blind. Been blessed so much that I question my existence. Without put the piss in distant. Travel distance, I ain't Mr. Kipling. Can't take my position. No optimism.
Something else to note is that the spacing of these beats is flawless. They have room to breathe, and every single one of them results in being the most stunning. Yeah, I have next to no complaints here. Slowthai talks about feeling down his childhood, Maybelline, nothing too cringeworthy, so that's good. 9.5. That was fire, that was stellar. It's so ethereal, oh my god. I like it when beats sound like they are talking to each other. It's a pretty cool thing when that happens, and it happened here, which makes me like the track even more. It was pretty moody, and I vibed with it. I like it a lot. No complaints from me here. 9 out of 10. The next track is labeled with a bunch of symbols. It's half a minute long. Let's go. Yeah, it was a cool transition, not really much to it. X out of 10. It's alright for what it is. Next track is called Dreamtime and it doesn't have any lyrics in it. It's 2 minutes long. Let's go. Yeah, it was quite stunning as well. Isn't too aggressive, it's not epic or grand or anything. It's only 2 minutes, so it doesn't have time for that, I guess. Yeah, it didn't waste time at all. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is a great score, and this track deserves it. The next track is a SOPHIE remix, and it is called Is It Cold in the Water? And it features Eprom, whoever that is. Also, it's the longest on this whole mixtape, being about 5 minutes, so it's gonna be an adventure, I guess. I don't know. Let's go. Pretty fast beats, okay. There are so many things happening in the background, it's amazing. Oh. Damn. The stuttering is so amazing. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? This was... I said this was going to be an adventure, and it indeed was. The change-ups here were top-notch, and the production was so amazing. I'm lost for words. I don't know. Yeah, 9 out of 10. How to build a relationship, and it features JPEGMafia. Let's go! Let's go, JPEG. He also produces this track, which is awesome.
The cop drop. I ain't got no $1 million deals, I still make hits. These niggas got $1 million deals and just thought I caught them at the coffee house and made them walk it out. I'm not cool, I'm not nice, I'm not you. There's no friends, no feels. This kid's stupid.
Damn.
Now. I follow you, you follow me, we round in circles now. Look, it's a crowd, my family. Guns at the guardrails, these arms extended. I'm not
Goddamn.
Can't call me at no office, can't call me at no crib. You can call me, you think I can let these niggas off. Fuck! You know how the fuck we coming with it. You're not tuned in to motherfucking infamous. Don't move. Don't call me unless I gave you my number.
That was the most suffocating track on this whole project so far. I see some quotables here because I'm using Genius, and yeah, cool bars. The chorus sounded like the verse, not that big of an issue in the grander scheme of things. Yeah, it's a great vibe. Suffocating, again, I would say this track is 9.5 from me. I don't know how much of the production was handled by JPEG, but I don't know, at least half of it, I guess. Flume and JPEG definitely have a chemistry here that works fantastically. One of the best tracks here, without a doubt. The next track is called Wormhole and doesn't have any lyrics in it. Yeah. So Wormhole is a pretty light track. The only part I didn't care for was that switch up towards the end that was out of nowhere and kinda not really destroyed, not really ruined, kind of just stopped the momentum the previous 2 minutes had. I still would listen to it over and over again, for sure. 8 out of 10 from me. The next track is called Voices, co-produced by SOPHIE. This track is less than 2 minutes long. Let's see what it does. Okay. Crunchy beats, okay. The shots of feedback here are amazing. Yeah, that was deafening. In a good way. Top-notch production. Yet again, the singing here was fitting, I'd say. So she used her voice to sing about voices. Cool. It's crushing. It knows it, and I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. The next track is called Mud, all caps. Sounds like an alarm. Not this part, not this part. This track is a bit one-dimensional and doesn't really stack the landing at the end, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I'd still recommend it anyway, but I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite here. Next track is called Upgrade. Yeah. Yo. So that was Upgrade, a track that had next to no flow, no sensible grooves, and meddling in its execution. The production is still engaging, and I wouldn't say it's horrible at all, but it definitely is a bit messy with how it doesn't progress in a good way, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I still kind of like it, but not to the point that I would give it a better score. The next track is called 71M3. I'd say that was quite blissful with how simple it sounded and pretty ecstatic. It's a pretty short track, it's under 1.5 minutes long. It was kind of just there to present a vibe, and I'd say it did a decent job at doing that. It knew what it was, and I'm going to give it a 7.5. Good track. The next track is called Vitality. Let's go. Vitality is even more blissful than the previous track. However, I'd say it does a better job at presenting a vibe, so that's a decent improvement. However, I wouldn't say I cared that much for the breakdown around the middle part, so I'm just gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It works pretty well. I don't have too much complaints with it. The next track is called Daze 2200, and it's about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Cool bass hits, okay. It's so soulful, holy crap. Yeah, like I said, this was probably the most soulful track here. The production was stellar, the bass hits were amazing, and yeah, the flow was pretty good too. So I'm just gonna give it an 8.5. I would listen to it again and again and again. The next track is called Amber, and it's also about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's go. It almost sounds industrial, and not in the best of ways, I guess. Okay. It's so slow, oh my god. I get it, he wanted to do something experimental, however, I think what came out was nearly unlistenable, and the beats here were grating, and I'm just gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Probably the worst track here, and I wouldn't come back to it probably ever. Alright, time for the last track, called Spring. This is quite strange. I guess I'm somewhat enjoying it. However, not as much as some of the best tracks here, I guess. The ending here was better put together than that part when it just broke down and just started making weird sounds. I don't know. I'd say the parts of this track that are the best structured are the very beginning and the second half of this track, where it's actually clear what's going on. And that part, a minute in, didn't sound that great. Didn't really appeal to me all that much, I guess. Yeah. Overall, a pretty solid track. And a good finish of this whole project, especially towards the end. And I'm just gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I appreciate it in the abstract. So, is this mixtape better than the self-titled debut? I would say it is. Not only because the production is a bit better than it was there, the ambition is greater as well. Where on that first album, Flume was trying to just make some party tracks, which resulted in a pretty okay album. However, here he shoots for more of a introspective premise behind his music and succeeding just as much, perhaps even more. This mixtape definitely was much more experimental than whatever he was doing before, and it did result in some okay-ish tracks. The sounds that he presents on this mixtape may be kind of off kilter and not too pleasing to the mainstream audience. However, as an experience that is at least somewhat potent, I'd say it's a pretty solid project from that angle. So to give this project a score, I added up all of the scores, then divided them by the amount of tracks I was rating, and what came out was 7.8. Also, the scores I added were after I re-listened to this whole project a few times and changed them in the previous reactions in this video. So just keep that in mind when I tell you that this project gets an 7.8. And I know it's not a very high score, but I'd say it's a pretty respectable one, and I wouldn't discourage anyone from trying this album out, mixtape out. It's kind of abstract all over the place, and it does lead to some weird ideas. I wouldn't say appealed to me super much, but those weird ideas did appeal to me on tracks like Daze 2200, Voices, How to Build a Relationship with JPEGMafia, and High Beams with slowthai. On these pretty interesting tracks, there is some heavy production, there is some cool lyricism, and I wonder how the sound from this mixtape will carry on to his newest album that he released very recently. Yeah, whatever. That is all. Share this video. I'm Funky Blood. Video over.